And I have a DS and I'm looking for new games to play. Any suggestions? Haven't heard that question before.
I have a list. I'm prepared.
Really?
Yes, in fact, I have two lists. You ready for this?
No?
Yeah.
If you like Phoenix Wright, you should also check out 999.
Oh,
Ooh,
you were supposed to talk about that on the last podcast, but you weren't there.
I was? What about it? It's awesome. There's actually less gameplay in that than Phoenix Wright, if you can imagine. It's very much just like a visual novel kind of game, but the story's really good, and there's lots of branching paths, and I got one of the bad endings.
Haha.
And died. It was kind of cool. Very short game.
Did you get the endings in that game?
Did what?
Did you get all of the endings in 999?
All of the Indians?
All the endings.
I didn't get any of the Indians.
All of the
endings. No, I stopped with the first ending because I just didn't feel like playing through it all again right away. But I believe there is a way to skip through dialogue you've read already, but I just didn't feel like it.
You don't really skip through it as much as you fast forward through it.
Right. Oh, so you have played it before?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
And so that I was actually going to discuss this with you, but if you haven't,
okay.
I don't want to ruin anything if you haven't.
No, I do intend to at some point, but I just haven't yet.
Okay, a later one we will. But my opinion on it,
I just got an ending where I believe I might have been stabbed.
Yes,
yes.
That's most something terrible happens.
But yeah, do you agree then that that's a game that people who like Phoenix Wright should check out? Oh?
I would. Have you played a Ghost Trick?
That's on my list.
I think that's a better match. 999, I didn't like that as much.
It's certainly not as lighthearted as Phoenix Wright.
Mm-hmm.
And different style puzzles.
Yeah, the puzzles were pretty bad.
You didn't like them? Oh.
Not so much.
Oh, I enjoyed them, but that was mostly because I was able to figure most of them out, and I always feel so good when I'm able to do that.
Games. My problem is that they were all too easy. Like
yes.
Most point-and-click adventure games, like one of the characters would always be like, "Should use the water bottle to do this," and then I'm like, "Well, what's the point of having this now?"
For me, it was definitely the right amount of challenge where I felt like I was struggling to figure them out, but then I did. It's the games where it takes me more than 5 minutes to figure out the puzzles that I don't get into.
Oh, I like those better because I feel like I'm actually accomplishing something.
That's a fair point. Yeah, I think I would suggest that, and I would also add Ghost Trick, absolutely. I mean, it's made by the same people who made Phoenix Wright.
Mm-hmm. Ghost Trick's good, and in a later podcast, we can have a throwdown over 999. You've completed.
Yeah, Michael Gray, and I believe he did play it as well. Other DS games I would suggest, Jake Hunter Detective Story, which could basically be called Jake Hunter Ace Detective. Again, though, there's a little less gameplay in it, a little more visual novelty, but I didn't think that detracted from it for me personally, and I enjoyed the characters almost as much as I like the characters in Phoenix Wright. Very disappointed that this is like a long-running series in Japan. They've been making these games since the 80s, but this is the first one and also the only one to come out in the U.S. Because it didn't sell well. But I enjoyed it. Also, Time Hollow. It's Phoenix Wright, but with time travel. And a magical pen.
Magical pencil?
If only. No, you use the pen to create holes that you can poke your head through and look at something in the past.
Wink. Anyway.
Yeah. What? Anyone else have anything they want to add to this? I've been monopolizing the DS conversation.
I know.
That's good. A nice one if you like Phoenix Wright. It's another similar sort of one where it's heavily story based, but there's a decent amount of puzzles. It's got a very film noir feel to it.
What is it?
Oh, Hotel Dusk.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like Phoenix Wright. It's very story based. Decent amount of puzzles.
Now, see, I'm kind of the reverse here, kind of like a reverse 999. That's a game where I played it for like a couple hours, and it was mostly just me wandering around a hotel, knocking on doors, and not knowing what to do.
It does have this, like, one of the problems with it is sometimes in a conversation, if you pick the wrong option, it's automatically a game over. So you don't save it frequently. Saying the wrong thing to someone, your game's done. You have to start over from the last save point. But I thought the story was good enough that I was willing to forgive.
No, you're not the first person I've heard say that. I'm pretty sure it was me, not the game. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be a good game, and I just couldn't get into it. They're the same people who made Trace Memory, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we just reviewed that pretty recently. Another. If you like Hotel Dusk, you'll like Trace Memory, probably.
I didn't like that one as much.
Oh, never mind.
I mean, you probably will. It's basically the same sort of thing.
I'll stick with my easy adventure games. Push A to solve puzzle. I like those.
Reminds me of a game that I made back in my Visual Basic class, back my first class in college. I made a game that said, click here, and when you clicked, it said, congratulations, you won.
See, now you should have made a sequel where you click there and then you lose the game. You have to actually click somewhere else.
No!
And it's only one pixel you can click on. So. Every time you click on the any incorrect pixel, you lose.
Yes.
That sounds like something that would be on the Xbox Live Indie Games channel, actually. It probably
Probably
already is.
Yes.
And if it's not, it will be. By the time you hear this podcast, I'm going to make it.
Yes.
Yeah.
But, yes, that email was from I is amazing.
I thought it was Lisa Amazing.
No, it's an I.
Is it an I, really?
Maybe that's what it's supposed to be, though. Maybe, because it's a capital I. So maybe it's supposed to look like Lisa Amazing. But
well, that one, the reason I am familiar with this, it's from the iTunes page. We had I or Lisa, who knows, she rated us and reviewed us and gave us a really nice review on our iTunes page. So thank you.
Okay, next comment. Could I be a special guest? I could join you guys on Skype, but is it possible to join a group chat with no credit? If not, I'm all for the phone call. If you're okay with that, just ask for my number and I'll PM you. And if I do come on the next podcast, I can actually answer the difference between LPing and walkthroughs question and explain the difference a bit better, as I'm a Let's Player myself, one who doesn't cuss, surprisingly. Sex Dude Malloy, S26.
We were talking about this a little bit in the pre-show, and I think there's a way we could make guests work. And here's what I was thinking. It seems fairly frequently we have a topic sent in by a listener that none of us have any clue what they're talking about, and we don't know anything. I believe it happened on almost all of the ones in this episode. So what I'm thinking is we could pick one topic per episode that we have no idea what's going on, and then pick someone at random and call them and demand that they tell us about this topic. I think that could be entertaining. At least it would entertain me.
We just have to hope that, like, we're not calling them where it's like 3 a.m. local time, or...
That is an excellent point.
Talk to us about video games.
Well,
They're like in the middle of class.
Yeah.
Actually, that'd be awesome. One time back in high school, we had a cell phone go off, and the teacher took it and answered it.
Yikes.
I would be so happy if that happened on our show.
No, I'm sorry, GameCola Podcast. Timmy can't, he's taking a test right now. But,
all right, so maybe not that specifically, but I think if we put our noodles together, we can make this work.
I think, we would probably, like, email the potential call people, before the podcast was recorded and alert them that, yes, you may receive a phone call between the hours of, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay. Yeah, that could work.
Yeah, so.
And if they email us back and say, I will actually be sleeping at that time, then we know to take them off the list.
Yes, we know specifically to call them. I mean, take them off the list. So, yeah, maybe,
Should we put that out there? Should we ask people, if they want to be involved in this to get in touch?
Yeah, email us at podcast@gamecola.net, and let us know your Skype username and or a phone number, and we will be in contact.
I think that's a great idea.
So do I.
As do I.
Yes. It's a great idea. High five.
Yay!
Woo!
Okay.
My microphone. I don't know if you can hear.
I heard.
Okay.
I did hear. Yes. Next comment. Yay, new podcast. I commented on iTunes. Lisa Amazing. Okay, so it does say Lisa in this one.
Okay.
Although
it's totes Lisa Amazing.
Yes, apparently.
Okay. You might want to check your iTunes account.
Yes.
Possibility of a typo.
Yes.
How do you
Well,
know the difference between a capital I and a lowercase l on the computer?
the font
To me.
that I have in Notepad where I copied and pasted this information,
Huh? Does it have like the little...
serifs. It has serifs. Yes, thank you.
Interesting.
I believe it's time. Oh no, it's not Times New Roman. It has to be a courier. Oh no, it's Lucida Console. Sorry.